then I can just go with text field, right? Otherwise, two. Now let's go here and write a simple. So here we will put a simple division. And in this division, we will put a text field. This is text field. Okay. In this text field, observe carefully. I'm using a label. Label as user name. That is the label I am giving. Username is the label. Actually, how do we know what properties it is having? So in the API itself, you can see there is props option. This props option will tell what are the properties it is having. You know, every component has props now. That means you click on the props, it will show the properties it is having. What are the properties it is having? It is having properties like auto complete, auto focus, and what is their data type? You see the different data types they are having, ID, label, everything is there. That means it is having so many properties. You can use all these properties and define them. And every property, it will explain what its purpose is. You see, there is an variant. Variant is outlined, filled, standard. For example, I will use here. So variant is a standard. I'm just giving like this. Now see the interesting part about this. This is the material UI text box. You see, this is material UI text box. And you see, when I click inside, it will be in this way. That's good. That means it have good interface. This is your Bootstrap text box. This is Bootstrap text box. And this is material text box. What about functionality? Functionality, both are same. That means you write on change, collect the value and use it. Same here also. There is no difference in functionality. Only the point is how it looks like. That's very simple. That makes your user interface more better. They will give lot of styles. For example, you see they given outline, filled, different variants are there. I will go here. I will put variant as what? Variant as outline. That is the variant. That means you can see that variant outline is not there. Outlined. Okay, it is outlined. That is the variant. And you can see that is the variant it looks like. And I click inside, then it will display like this. Good. You have a lot of advantage of this. That means this is what making the UI better. And remember, you are just learning about only one component. See how much time you need for this. Hundreds of properties will be there. Lot of behaviors will be there. A developer need to read everything. He need to read everything and he need to understand which one he needs for his project. Which behavior he needs, which appearance he needs. That's what he need to implement. That means they need to check, is this behavior available or not? Right? Can I write on change for every component like that? We can't until or unless they provide on change. Can you write on blur, on focus like everything? No, until or unless they provide. Blindly, you cannot implement whatever you have used there. But see the functionality here. Suppose concept is same. Suppose we are writing constant. So username and set username. And it is use state. We are importing the state, which is a string. And we are writing a function. Function is what? Handle change. Handle name change. And what is the functionality? Set username. What we have to do? E dot what? Target dot value. So here we will put an event argument E. And I need to bind this to this text field. What is it? On change. On change. What is it? Handle name change. And here we will put a heading. So here we say hello and hello, and that username, that is the field. And I am trying here, and that name is same. There is nothing special. Special is only the appearance it is having. The how it appears is the same concept. Now you can design your form with MUI, or you can design with your Bootstrap. Sometimes in companies, they just go with Bootstrap only, right? So that is one point, because you have seen buttons. You see, for example, I want to use a button here. Then what is the button already imported? So I will just put another div, and here I will put a class name margin top as 3, and here I am adding a button. So this button is having some text. Suppose what is the button text we are having? So button text is like login. I'm just writing like this. But is it possible to write like that for that button? You see, this is login button. And is button having any kind of properties that we have to check? Go to the list here. What is it? Button. You see, this is button. And in the button API, and you can see these are the button properties. Button have color, primary, success, danger. These are the colors. And you see button have a lot of other attributes: size, small, medium. Button has variant, contained, outlined, text. Different types of options are available. That means button have a color. Color is what? So primary, that is the color. And you can see this button looks little different than compared to the normal button, right? So, and another one, is it outlined, contained? Suppose I am giving here, what is it? Variant. Variant is what? Outlined button. That is, outlined button means it looks like this now. We want a contained button. That means we are using here contained button. And you can see a contained button will look like this. This button looks different from this Bootstrap button. When you saw Netflix form we designed, we used Bootstrap, but actually it is designed with Material UI. That means the Netflix email box, the Netflix button, that doesn't look like Bootstrap. Why? Because it is designed with Material UI. It is used with Material UI. Is it having anything like danger? So you can see the appearance, danger is not there. What might be there? Let's check colors, what they have. Error is there. It's not danger. It is what? Error. And you can see that is the color. So this is the design. That is the design, how we can create. This is just one simple example to make you understand how we can use the components. Suppose now you created a shopping site. We created shopping template. In shopping template, you remembered we used cards. We designed cards. We used Bootstrap cards. You see material cards, how they look like. These are material cards. Where is it? Yeah, you see this is material card. You see the material card. Let's go to the demo. In the demo, let's go to the demo. This is currently I am in API. In API, you will get all technical details. If you want to see how it looks like, how it works, then come out of API. You have to come out of API. You have to go to components. There in the components, you have to select what? Card. Where is this card? This is the card. And you can see that these cards look like this. This is a basic card. And you see this is a card with image. These cards look little different. That means you can design these kind of cards. You can design these type of cards. These cards look beautiful. They look very attractive. Then when compared to Bootstrap. And remember, these cards will have even functionality. That means you click, it will open and show details. And for that, you don't need to write much logic, but you have to write logic. It's not like without writing logic, it will work, right? You have to tell what to expand, what to collapse. You have to add some attributes for that. So if you want to design like this, then you can go here. It will show you here. This is the source code button. You click on the source code button, then it will open the code. You see so many things you have to import. That means to design that card, you need all these: card header, card media, card content, card actions, card collapse. You know, collapse and all these are present in Bootstrap also. But Bootstrap, if anybody asks, then what is best for React? Best for React is material, no question. Why material? Because it is native to React. Native to React means it is designed for React. Bootstrap is not designed for React. It completely uses jQuery. But majority projects use jQuery also. They directly import jQuery library. They use Bootstrap with jQuery. Right? We used already jQuery Ajax options. I showed you how to import jQuery and use jQuery Ajax. I showed you in API concept. That means companies completely depend on different. And see, you have to import all these. You need to, you see the logic. We have a card. We have a card header. We have card header, have some avatar. Avatar is just that character it is having. And card have, you see, card have media. Media is nothing but image. What is the component type image? How much height? What is the image source? You have to define. And you can see the card content, card footer, body, everything they will give. What about the functionality? All the functionality they given here. You can see the functionality. That means they given the functionality here. Expand, click, set expand. This set expand is nothing but I showed you one option, show hide. One component we can show, another component we can hide, right? That means you click, it will show. Again, click, it will hide. For that, they may be using some Boolean. You see, when you see not is there, that means it is using some Boolean, true or false. These kind of, already they given the logic. You see, expanded is a Boolean, it is using false. This is the simple logic you need to implement. We need to configure these, we have to use this. So these are very important to understand. You try, I will show you one more component. For example, I want a date picker. Date picker means a calendar. Usually, you have a date input type, but that is not satisfying. Why not satisfying? Because it is a plain date picker. We want some attractive date pickers. We want some attractive grids and icons. Then what you can do is, you see here, I will scroll down. Is there any date picker? You see, there is a, these are date time picker, text field, components, pagination, container. Date time picker. You see, there is a date time picker. And you observe here, this is date time picker. And observe carefully now. This date time picker is not just a ordinary component. It is having some extra behavior. That's the reason they ask you to install a separate library again for that. This indicates it is not MUI, it is MUI with UX, user experience. That means it is not just the functionality, it is having more. That means you can see this is the library for date. This is npm. Npm is this one, how we have to import and how to use it. You have to install the separate library for that and you have to use it. You need an extra concept for that. You need to add some extra functionality. You need so many new things to add. These are all the new things you have to add. Remember these components, why people face problem in implementing the components? Because they are not straightforward. Many components require dependency. Dependency means they need some more libraries. If you don't import, they will not work. So that means it's not easy to learn about a component. It will take a lot of time because you need to know the dependencies. You have to import the dependencies. If you miss them, they can't work. And you see, this is all the functionality here. And you see the date picker usually looks like this. It usually looks like this. And to create this date picker and handle this date picker, so you need all this logic to implement. You see, this is what you have to do. That means you have to first remember they have given a separate library for that. Actually, component is date picker, but to use this component, you need to import all this. Another important, date picker cannot be directly used. It should be used with a provider. Provider means, you know, it is a service and it requires an adapter. If you import this adapter and provide this service, then only this will work. All components are not so easy, just like I showed you a button and text box. Button and text box, what? One component you written and some properties you add. And you write your on change event, they will work. But every component is not like that. And they will provide lot of things for this. You have to import and install, right? So for example, I will show you the issues what you will face. For example, suppose I want to use a date picker. Let me copy this MUI demo for you. This is installation and this is the example. This is an example. This is the logic for MUI demo.jsx. That is the option. Yeah. Let's do one thing here. Let's remove all this part. And I will show you here. Suppose date picker, something like this. And you see, I'm importing here. I don't need all this. Yeah. I will just import here. I will import here a simple component. What is it? Date picker. And you see, there is no date picker in that library. I am trying to use the option here. That is date picker. I am trying to use a date picker. And you can see there is no date picker. So you imported a date picker and you see it shows a list of material. It says that this is the complete list and I never found this anywhere. That means so many items are there, but in that date picker is not there. Why? Because already they clearly mentioned that date picker is not a part of direct material. You need to import, install some user experience also. That means, see what is the process they say. So to manipulate date library, to handle the date library, you have to install these. What you have to install? You have to first install this MUI X date pickers library. Okay, let's copy this. Let's go to the terminal and we will put it here. Let's install. That's not enough. One more is required. They say that it requires a adapter. Date functions by using adapter. That means you have to try an adapter. Let me copy that also. This is an adapter. Copy this. Date.js, that is the adapter you need. So another option is that adapter also I am installing. Okay. Another option is they are saying that make sure that your material is installed. This already installed. We don't need to install that. It is done. One more option. They are saying that this component may be using some special CSS. If you don't install those CSS, then you will get date picker, but you will not feel the same how they show in preview. That means just like we designed Netflix screen in the beginning, but we don't get the feeling of Netflix like screen. Why? Because their styles are different, their fonts are different, our styles are different, but layout we achieved. The feel we can't achieve same, because for that we need to use exactly what fonts they are using, what styles they are using. You have to install fonts also. They use a font called Roboto, which Bootstrap also uses same Roboto like font. You have to install the fonts and use them. Okay, let's set up this styling engine. Copy. Let's set the styling engine. We are installing the styling engine also. Okay. Next, how to set up the date adapter. How to set up the date adapter. Wherever you want to use, then there you have to implement this. You have to configure this date adapter. That means you see the date adapter. So it will show the process here. So we need to use a date adapter and the component, the adapter. You can see this is the adapter you need. So we have to import these three now, right? Make sure that you imported all React related all are there. This is common. Now, once this is also installed, let's go to the top and you put all these libraries. We have a date picker and we have localization provider adapter. That means actually this is completely kept inside whom? So localization provider. Inside that we have to keep it. And in that, what is that? We need a, which one? Value a date adapter. They need date adapter. Adapter day.js. That means they need a date adapter. So that is adapter, the spelling capitalization, yeah. Adapter day.js. This we have to do. We have to import this. And you see in the design, a calendar will come. And I selected the value and its value is stored there. And this is not an ordinary component. It is not just a simple ordinary component. It's completely different. And for that, if you miss any one dependency, it will fail. That means you have to explore, you have to see and use it. How to collect the value from this and display? That's again same concept. Right? That means how do we access the data from this? Right? How we can access the data and use. Same, this also uses the same event on change, collect the value and store that in some location. Majority, every component they design will use on change because that's what the primary way of two-way binding now. In React, two-way binding is defined by using on change. So this is the approach you need to follow. Right? So this is so much work to be done. So that means example I will show you. So that means set up date picker. For that, let's see what we have done. First thing, so this is the library we need to set up. So first install this one. After that install this one. Means the order is also installing order, you don't need to worry. Placing them also important. That means you put this one also. And anything else, that's enough. These are the things we have. After that, this is the simple approach of using the component. Remember, it is not like you remember and write. It's impossible. Even you are genius in your brain, you can't handle, because they have a lot of dependencies and they keep on changing. We can't do anything. That means you need complete help from API, right? This is the example code for that, how to implement and use, right? So this is the process of using material components. Now it is your job to learn about other components. You don't waste time in learning all components, right? Only the point is, if you are working in any project, in that what components they need, those you explore and try. For practice, you try some components like card, like collapse, like that. 1-2 components you can practice. You try by yourself now. If you can do, then whenever you need any additional component to use in your project, you can easily implement that. But be careful about the dependencies. What libraries need to be installed. If you miss them, it will not work. Every time freshers face problem in this, dependency issues will come every time. That means they will not import the dependencies, but try to use the library. They will not install the dependency, but try to use the library. And every library just doesn't depends on UI. So many libraries with link to UX, right? You need to try other components by yourself, right? I hope you will try 1-2 more components like cards or toolbar or something. You try them. If you can do, that's good. Now you can create all the forms and designs according to this material UI instead of completely depending on Bootstrap, right? Now, once you can do this, now we can go into the concept of working with TypeScript now. Right? Now we will learn TypeScript language and we will learn how React works with TypeScript combination, how it works. That will start tomorrow, right? In tomorrow's session, we will discuss what is TypeScript, how TypeScript works. I will give the complete idea on TypeScript first. Then we will use this TypeScript for React. Then you can build applications with 2 concepts, React with JavaScript, React with TypeScript. Because here also, you see the components they give with TypeScript also. That means they have 2 logics, TypeScript components, logic little changes. Means logic will be same, syntax references will change. Because TypeScript is a complete OOP language, it have so many interfaces, read-only properties, inheritance, and all such things. Those I will explain in the next session. Tomorrow we'll do that, right? Once we start understanding TypeScript, we can build our React app with TypeScript. That we'll see in next session. Tomorrow we'll do. Okay, right.